Hello and welcome to Zen Dragon Studio. I am Abby and today I have a Heart's Desire Oracle Yoga reading for you. So in my Oracle Yoga readings, the first half of the video is a card reading to help us determine what key postures we're going to work with, as well as the theme for our practice. And then the second part of the video is the yoga flow that I create from the card reading from the first part of the video. So I like doing these readings because I find that they help embody messages received from the divine through the readings, and I think they're a lot of fun. And since the time of this recording is Valentine's Day week, I have a Heart's Desire flow. So we're going to be focusing a lot on our central focus is going to be on what our heart desires and acknowledging and really claiming that. So for today's practice, I am recommending a few props. They're not required, they're just recommended to help support your practice. So if you have 1 or 2 blocks, these will come in handy for a couple postures that we're doing if you don't necessarily feel comfortable going as deep into them. And then I'm also going to be using a bolster for a posture. You don't need to, but it will be more supportive for your practice. If you want a little bit more of a gentler practice today, I recommend 2 blocks and a bolster. All right, so we'll get into our reading. So first, we're going to pull our posture cards. And we'll start with the sacral chakra. And we'll go ahead and wait till I draw all 3 before we flip those over. Next, from the heart chakra. And the throat. And I'll go ahead and draw our theme cards as well, and we'll just flip them all over at the same time. I like flipping the cards all over, turning them all over at once, because sometimes when I do it individually, I don't always quite understand the full message, and oftentimes I find that I need to look at all the cards before I actually receive what is coming through. Sometimes I do flip them over as I go. Just depends on how I feel. Actually, I kind of had 2. I had 2 cards right there. So we'll have 2 dragons to work with, which is kind of fitting too. All right, 1 more card. Turn them over. See what postures we got. So for the sacral chakra, we got when relieving pose, knees into the chest. That's funny. We actually had this posture earlier in the month. If you've watched my channel, we had that also. And then cow face for the heart chakra. Looking to be more of a restorative class, and plow pose for the throat chakra. Right. Let's see about our theme. Got a pretty little dove here. Look at the message. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Okay, and our 2 dragons. Ooh, flow and discipline. Ooh. It's a very interesting combination. And finally, the last card, Fortune's Wheel, luck and right timing. Ooh. So let's take a little bit of a deeper look at our cards. So we have Wind Relieving Pose, or Pavana Muktasana. This is a sacral chakra. This is our sacral chakra posture. It aids in digestion. It also relieves low back tension and massages the abdominal organs, and it releases tension in the hips. It also helps to reduce stress. If you ever feel like your breath is caught in your chest, or you just feel really, really anxious, this is a wonderful posture to come into to really nurture yourself. And it's like giving yourself a little hug, and you can squeeze as tightly or as loosely as you want to, and you can make little circles and really massage your lower back and your abdominals and your just really a wonderful massage for your core area as well. And it's just very nurturing and loving posture. And it's super, super great for beginners. And so I picked 3 postures for each of the 3 chakras I want to work with, because so this one is the sacral chakra, and this is like our seat of creativity, our sexual energy, so masculine or feminine, and going with the flow, really being fluid in life. And each chakra, it has kind of what is called like a wound. So it's essentially what would be blocking your chakra. And for the sacral chakra, the wound is guilt. So when you're working, so one thing you can go deeper, into working with the sacral chakra is to really focus on, feeling into what do I feel guilty about, and releasing guilt. And that's a wonderful way to go deeper with this chakra. And it also aids in helping you find a lot of like your blocks to it. A lot of them have to do with guilt. You'd really be surprised at how it actually does make a lot of sense. So that's the sacral chakra posture. So for our heart chakra posture, I know this one doesn't quite look like it would be, but cow face pose, it is very much a chest opening posture. And it opens up your thoracic spine, which is what's right behind where your rib cage connects to, so all along up here. And it also, when you use the leg variation with your legs crossed over each other, it's also a wonderful stretch for your hips as well. So it also kind of works into the sacral chakra as well. And it also stretches the backs of your arm and your shoulders. So it's really great for your shoulders and chest opening. Really, if you do a lot of sitting, this pose is so great for your body. It really helps open up all the areas that get really, really tight from sitting so much. So if you have a job where you're still working on getting active, I know it takes a little bit of time and discipline to really get there, but this is a wonderful posture to start with, and it'll work with both your upper and your lower body for places that typically hold a lot of tension. And so this is our heart chakra posture. And so the heart chakra deals with love and being loved and feeling lovable and receiving love and giving love. And the wound or block that we see in this chakra is grief. So this one is usually, it's tends to be blocked by grief. So if you want to go deeper in your practice, you can focus on releasing grief. And grief is something that it can feel really hard to release. And by release, I don't mean just like push it away and forget about it. Like, you need to feel through it to really release it. That's how we release our feelings, is to feel them. That's how we release them. Otherwise, they stay. Okay, so that's our heart chakra posture. And on to our throat. We have plow pose. This is a wonderful inversion. This is a great posture. If you have any thyroid condition like hyperthyroidism or anything like that, don't do this posture. It stimulates the thyroid because anything with your chin going towards your chest is really going to stimulate that. So if you have any of those are contraindications for this posture, as well as any back or neck issues as well. And there are some modifications we can do for this as well, for using blocks to put your feet on. I know this posture can look really scary if you're a beginner. It's not. It feels very intense the first couple times you come into it, so we will definitely take a little break, afterwards, as it is a very powerful posture and it is an inversion. And so this posture, it stretches your spine, your shoulders, the back of the legs, basically like your whole back side of your body. It opens up your upper back and your chest. If you do the hand clasp variation, you don't have to clasp your hands, you can just leave them on the mat. It balances the thyroid gland, and it calms the mind and reduces stress. This is a wonderful posture for stress reduction, and also I've seen it done for like happiness as well, which for stress and depression, if you're relieving those, of course you will be happy. So the chakra that this one works with is your throat. And so your throat chakra is really about self-expression and speaking your truth, really expressing yourself through your voice. And this can be really hard for a lot of us too. And the block or the wound for this chakra is lies. So if you want to go deeper there, you can work on, what lies am I telling myself? Really, it's about, what are you telling yourself? All right. 4 theme cards. So I'll turn this over real quick so you can see the picture. We'll read the message one more time. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. So, things don't always go our way. Oftentimes, it can feel like things never work out the way you'd like. I know I definitely feel that way. I always get stuck on how I think things should look. And it's really important to see too, is every experience in your life is an opportunity to go deeper into love, even the things that don't really feel so good. But it's important to remember the blessing or love doesn't come after or soon. Like in the card, it says, through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Soon doesn't mean that you don't have love or you don't have peace right now when you're in the thick of it. You still have those things no matter what you're experiencing. It's when we're in the middle of all this, junk, really, when we're really moving deep through stuff, we don't really see, the blessing in that or the love in that, really, or how that was really for us. So being revealed is more of, once you're through it, it's a lot easier to look back and really see how that really changed and impacted you and your life. So, love is now, and your dreams and desires are now. You never have to wait to have love or peace or joy or happiness. These are all choices you can make, and you can give them to yourself at any point in time, all the time. You can give them to yourself right now, absolutely. And, nothing can stop that. It's your choice to give that to yourself. Okay. So we have our lovely dragons. So first is Flow, and this looks like a very happy dragon. I love this dragon. It's really pretty. So life doesn't happen to us. We co-create it with God, universe, source, the divine, through our choices. If you desire something, choose it, claim it deep in your heart, and the path will be revealed to you. The desire is in your heart because it is already yours. Embrace the flow of life and know God is fully supporting you with every step. God puts your desires in your heart, therefore they're already yours to claim, and He's not going to prevent you from them, but you still have to do the work for them and take the step. So allow life to be fluid and natural. Just really embrace the flow of life and move with God, the divine, rather than going against Him and trying to make things work out how we think it should. And then that moves into discipline. So don't get lazy. Go with the flow of life, but don't expect everything to just be handed to you. It can having your desires and your dreams come true is absolutely, can be easy and natural and effortless, but effortless doesn't mean that you don't do anything. So no one, not even God, will do it for you. You have to walk the path and do the work in front of you to have what you desire. There is work to be done on the journey, but it doesn't have to be difficult or painful. It can be enjoyable. The whole journey, not just the destination. Destination doesn't have to be the only part that's enjoyable. The whole journey can be. You'll have a much more rich and fulfilling life if everything is enjoyable, And discipline is loving, and it's essential for growth. Okay, so those were our dragons. Those two actually complemented each other like really, really perfectly. That was perfect that those two came together. They seem kind of like opposites, but they're not opposites. They're actually complements. So you need both flow and discipline in your life, and that's so cool. Okay, last card, Fortune's Wheel, luck and right timing. So now is the time to claim what you desire. So what do you want? Really feel into your heart, what do you really desire? There may be multiple things that come up, but really find those. Let your desires be felt and really feel them, and claim what you want. Claim your desires and allow God to reveal your path to you. God's destination for you is guaranteed beyond your wildest dreams. And the whole journey can be easy when we flow. All right. Whew. That was a beautiful, beautiful reading. So I feel for this flow, it's going to be really important to set an intention. So we're definitely going to work on that at the beginning of the practice, is setting an intention and really getting clear, allowing for some time to really meditate on what it is that you desire. So this is, feel more of a restorative and definitely reflective flow. So not really a lot of strong movement, just sitting in postures and then flowing with postures. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that reading. I enjoyed it, and I am very excited to share the flow with you. So, if you're ready to flow, get out your mat, and I will see you for our practice. All right, so we're gonna get into our flow. So real quick before we begin, I wanted to let you know you probably will see me kind of messing with my phone a little bit throughout the video. I'm going to be timing us with it for a few of our postures, so don't worry about it. Just want to let you know, in case you saw that, I am still fully present, but I want to make sure that we keep track of time so that we have balance between our sides and in our body. Okay, so our first posture is going to be butterfly. And if you have 2 blocks, you can grab them if you want to use them today. So for butterfly pose, we're going to bring the soles of our feet together in front of us. They can be further away or closer to your groin. The further away you go, a little bit less intense of a stretch it will be. We are going to be here for 2 minutes, so please find a comfortable distance. And if this is a little bit much for you, you can always take your blocks and place them underneath your knees for a little additional support. Okay, so find your butterfly pose. Just take a nice inhale, lengthening the spine, and exhale, just coming forward. You can kind of round the spine a little bit more here. And you can just kind of wrap your hands around your feet if that feels good to you. And just breathe here, closing the eyes. We don't want to be pulling towards our feet. This is just a very gentle opening pose. Just working into our hips and into our sacral chakra, which we talked about in our reading. So if any emotions are coming up, just let them flow, acknowledge them. You don't have to push them away. Just invite you throughout our practice today to really just be present with yourself. And just breathe here. One more minute. We're just about there. Keep breathing. Okay, go ahead and gently inhale to come back up. You can close your knees back together. Okay, and we'll come into our next posture, which is cow face. So bring your left leg down in front of you and your right leg on top. Your heels can be as close to your glutes as feels comfortable to you. The closer you get, the more intense the stretch will be. And we're going to bring our right arm up, lift it behind us, and our left arm comes back behind. So the back palm of the left hand will be against our back. The back of our left hand will be against our back, and then the palm of the right hand will be against your back. You can just, if you can reach your hands, great. If not, you can just kind of grab onto your shirt, or you can use a strap. I forgot to mention that as well, but we're going to come into cow face, and we're going to be here for 2 minutes, and then we will switch sides. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable to, and just breathe here. This is really opening our chest and our shoulders. Just really allow yourself to find stillness here and relax the best you can. I know it can feel a little intense. We have just under a minute. Keep breathing, opening your chest and your shoulders. And you can go ahead and come out of it. Just gonna give yourself a little bit of a breather. Maybe roll your shoulders back a few times and forward. And we'll switch sides. So right leg on the bottom, left leg on top, knees stacked over each other, and your heels can come as close to the glutes as feels comfortable for you. And this time the left arm goes up and the right arm comes back, grabbing onto your shirt or your hands. And the palm of your left hand will be against your back, and then the back of your right hand against your back. Okay, so 2 minutes on this side, grabbing what you can, finding your pose, and just breathing here. You don't have to be very deep into it. It's okay if your hands don't touch, mine don't touch. Especially if this is your first practice of the day, you might be a little bit tighter in these postures, and that's okay. The key is to just breathe through it. You can close your eyes if that feels good to you. We're halfway, just keep breathing. And go ahead and come out of it. You can extend your legs out in front of you just for a moment. And we'll come onto our belly for crocodile pose. Just go ahead and lay down on your belly, and we're just going to place our chin in our palms. We're going to be here for about 2 minutes. This is our throat opening posture. You can close your eyes if that feels good to you. And just relax here. And gently come out. You can go ahead and roll onto your back. We're going to come into our supine flow. You're going to lay back on your mat. Go ahead and hug your knees in towards your chest. We'll inhale to straighten the arms overhead, straighten the legs. Let me move my props real quick. There we go. Okay, so straighten the arms overhead, your legs up on your inhale, and then exhale, hug your knees back into your chest. Inhale, arms up overhead, feet on the mat, bridge pose, lift your hips. And exhale, hug your knees in towards your chest. We'll do 3 more at the rhythm of your own breath. Feel free to close your eyes if you feel comfortable. If you need to look at what I'm doing for some more guidance, get familiar with the flow, feel free. And 3 more on your own. Last one. And when your knees come back into your chest, just hold here for just a moment. And be here for about 10 breaths. Closing the eyes, you can gently rock side to side. You can make little circles with your knees if that feels comfortable to you. If you do that, make sure you go in both directions. And just breathe here. Take 3 more breaths wherever you are. Go ahead and bring your feet down to the mat. We're going to come into bridge pose. This is our prep pose for plow. Before we get into that though, I wanted to say for plow pose, if you want to use a block, like if you don't think your feet are going to be able to touch the floor behind you, you can grab one of your blocks, scoot down a little bit, and you're going to take it, your arms straight directly up, and then just place it back behind you. Okay? So coming back to your bridge pose. Feet on the mat. Your middle fingers should just slightly be able to touch your heels, feet at hip width distance. Inhale, lift your hips, lift your arms up overhead, and exhale to come back down. 3 more. Inhale up, exhale down. After your last one, go ahead and come back up, and we'll hold here for 4 breaths. Go ahead and exhale and lower back down. All right. So our next pose is plow, and I would invite you to just gaze up here for just a moment. I'm going to demonstrate, and I will say if you have any kind of thyroid or neck or back problems, if you are menstruating, this might feel uncomfortable. It won't hurt you to do it, but if you have any neck, thyroid, back problems, please don't do plow pose. You can do bridge pose again. You can hug your knees in towards your chest. You can take a mini shavasana. You can do whatever pose will feel good for you right now, but please do not do plow pose. So I'm going to demo, for those of us that are doing plow, I'm going to demo it real quick because it's important when we come into this posture that you don't move your head or your neck while you're in it. So I don't want you trying to gaze up here and watch me while we're in it. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate now. So from your bridge pose, you can extend your legs long. And then on your inhale, your legs will come up, kind of catch your lower back, and just let your feet kind of fall behind you. Mine don't even come to the block, and that's okay. It doesn't really matter where they come to, just as long as you're keeping your legs straight. If they come to the floor, great. If not, that's okay. And for your hands, if you want more support, you can keep them behind your back like I am, or you can clasp your fists for a little bit of a deeper stretch. Okay? And when we come out, we're going to come out real nice and slow. Okay, so that is plow pose. If you are practicing with me, please get ready for the practice. If you're not, please find whatever pose is going to best suit you today for your practice. We're only going to be here for 4 breaths, guys, okay? Not for very long. It's a very, very intense posture. but it's so, so good for you. Inversions are so wonderful for you. All right. Go ahead and extend your legs. You can inhale, bring them in and up, catching yourself. And 4 breaths. And go ahead and exhale very gently, coming back down, very slow and with control, using your core. And you can bring your feet to the mat, you can extend your legs out, you can let your knees knock in. We're just gonna lay here for a minute. It's a very intense posture. If you're not used to doing it, your low back might be talking to you a little bit. Mine is. I don't do this posture too frequently. Just take a little mini shavasana here. Just closing the eyes and breathing through whatever sensations have come up in your body. Really allow your breath to help you relax and move through any of the sensations you're feeling in your body. You don't need to hold on to them. You can let them flow. Just a few more breaths here. One more deep inhale through the nose. And sigh out the mouth. Beautiful. Just go ahead and turn onto your belly for Cobra pose. Bring your forehead to the mat, your hands under your shoulders right next to your ribs. And on your inhale, lift up. Make sure you're keeping your elbows in towards your body and you're lifting with your back rather than pushing into your hands. You don't have to go very high. And exhale to lower back down. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale to come up. And exhale to come back down. 2 more, the rhythm of your own breath. And after your last one, take a breath down on the mat and inhale. Come back up. We're going to hold here for 4 breaths. Keeping Keeping your chest lifted, doesn't have to be very high off the ground. Keeping your elbows in towards your body. Using your back more than pushing into your hands. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale. And exhale, come back down. You can gently begin to push yourself back into child's pose. Maybe keep the knees a little bit more in. And we're going to move into our prone flow. So starting in child's pose, we're going to inhale to come up onto our knees, lift our arms up. Exhale, back into child's pose. On an inhale, come forward into cobra. Exhale to come back down. Inhale up, cobra. And exhale, push back into child's pose. Do that 3 more times. Inhale onto your knees, arms up. Exhale, child's. Inhale, come forward into cobra. Exhale, lower your forehead. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, pushing back into child's pose. 2 more. Inhaling to come up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, coming forward into cobra. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, push back, child's pose. And last one. Inhale to come up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come into cobra. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Inhale, cobra. And exhale to child's. Now before we get too comfortable here, we're going to spend about 5 minutes in child's pose. If you are comfortable on your mat with your knees in or wide, go ahead and stay there. If you would like just a little bit more support, or plow pose was a little bit intense and you just want a little bit less of a stretch in child's, you can grab your bolster, kind of place it between your legs just so we can lean over it. Let's go ahead and find your child's pose. We're going to be here for 5 minutes. Just breathing, really letting the body relax. Letting your low back release. Keeping the eyes closed, taking really deep breaths. Really allowing yourself to relax into the mat or into the bolster. Just enjoying the pose, allowing this to be a really juicy child's pose. And take a deep inhale and sigh it out. Very gently make your way back up. Remove any props you had off to the side. You can come either into a comfortable seated position or you can lie down in Shavasana, whichever feels best for you right now. Wherever you are, just let your body grow long, let your spine be nice and long, your crown lifted. And close your eyes, gently beginning to breathe. So begin to bring your awareness to your heart. How does your heart feel? What do you desire? Is there a desire in your heart right now? Is there a desire you haven't claimed or been honoring? Really be honest with what yourself and what your heart is telling you. Once you have this desire clear in your heart, begin to visualize it manifesting in your life. How would it feel to have this desire? How would your life change? What would your life look like? Just take these next couple minutes to really feel into your desire and see it happening and feel it as if it has already happened, as if it's already yours, because it is yours. All of your desires are meant to be fulfilled and manifest in your life. Do you choose to receive them? Do you choose to claim what's yours? Gently come back to yourself. You don't have to leave your desire behind. You can stay in this space for as long as it feels good to you. But if you're ready to end your practice today, go ahead and inhale your arms up overhead. And exhale, palms to heart center. You can bow to your heart space. And when you're ready, you can begin to flutter those eyes open. All right, this was your Heart's Desire Oracle Yoga flow. I hope you enjoyed the reading and our flow today. And if you enjoy my Oracle Yoga readings, I have them available on my website, and you can have a personalized one for you. Link is in the description box below. And I hope you feel so in touch with your heart and ready to claim all of your desires. All right, I'll see you in our next video. Namaste.